playing. Doing the podcast.
No, we're starting.
No.
Hello,
No.
Internets! I'm Joe.
Interrupting
I'm
Cosmic
Eric.
Moo.
And that was it. That was Ike. Interrupting cow is Ike. Welcome
And
to
you-
Just Cool Enough, the show where Eric plays video games, Ike interrupts like a
And
cow.
the points don't matter.
So I was our printer has been like crapping out. It's kind of old, and my mom wanted to get a new printer. Like it just we've replaced the black ink cartridge a couple of times and it just doesn't print black at all. It's fucking annoying. So we went and my mom wanted to get a new printer. And I looked up at Best Buy because she said, why don't we get a wireless printer? I was like, well, okay. But it needed to be a scanner. And there was like only one wireless printer scanner in our price range on the website. I was like, this is going to be fucking hard. We probably won't get it. But then we went to Best Buy. All of them are fucking wireless printer scanners. Half of them are under $70. And it's like, Jesus. And like the one, we picked a Canon. It seemed like it was pretty close to the one I saw on the website. And the ink looked pretty cheap. And it was only like two cartridges, like color and black ink, or two different cartridges. It wasn't like those shit where you have to have like 5 different fucking cartridges, and it seemed pretty inexpensive. So it was like, this is fucking perfect. So we went and picked it up and all that shit. And then my mom was like, hey, do you want to get anything? And I was like, I can't think. I mean, I was going to talk to you about spending some of our Just Cool Enough money on something later, but we started the show so soon, and I was distracted. So I was like, no, I can't think of anything. Like I was like, there's a microphone I want to get, but I'm going to spend Just Cool Enough money on it probably. And then we're standing in line, and I'm like looking at the DVDs, looking at the Blu-rays, and I'm like, I don't really feel like physical media. And then I noticed this, The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, which is probably my, I mean, I don't want to say it's my favorite Zelda because I really like Link Between Two Worlds, but it's one of my favorite Zeldas because not only is it the most original of all the Zeldas to date, but it was the one, like, because I had a Nintendo 64, but my friend Ricardo had Ocarina of Time, and he would bring it over every day in junior high, and we'd play it, and like I'd get farther than him, then he'd go home. But this was Majora's Mask was the first one that I got that was mine. It was my first real Zelda that was mine that I didn't have to borrow from Ricardo. And I played it to death. I bought a strategy guide, so I'm like totally stoked. I was like, fuck yeah! So I was like, change my mind. I want this. Like we were literally like the guy was like next, and like I was like, change my mind. I want this, and like a kid, just like a total fucking kid, just threw it in on top of the printer.
So, like your printer deal that you got, I mean, that's really cool, but I think that was really burying the lead talking about that game the whole time. Because I used to work for Xerox, and I love printers.
But why, and wireless print, like, I can print from my fucking phone. I downloaded the app. I can just print, like, I didn't have to, I already had it because of Windows. I could already print to my mom's printer already through the network. But now that's not even a problem. Like, now I can do it on my Mac, or I don't have to worry about network shit. I can just, you download the program, fucking print wirelessly.
Dude, the new printers are sweet, except, like, the whole having a digital copy of things is just not even needed anymore. But, oh man, dude, it's like buying a printer. It's like, what crack dealer do I have to buy from? Because like the first hit's free, and they fill the cartridge up 50%, and then you got to go back and be like, yeah, y'all got any more of that ink and shit?
That's the only thing that worries. I mean, my mom did buy another thing, but it was like the 2-pack of color and black ink was $50. So I was like, that's pretty good for fucking printer ink. And I don't know if we can find it other places other than Best Buy. We might have, but we bought an extra pack. So we'll have. I mean,
be careful. Be careful. There's a lot of nasty shit out there. Always get the clean shit. Never.
But it was because our last printer, it was annoying as fuck the way that, because it had the 3 different cartridges for color and black, and you had to like okay, hold it upside down and shake it for 30 seconds, and then pull the sticker, and you've got 3 seconds to put it in there, otherwise it dries up and it's gone for like this was easy. It's like pull this fucking sticker and slide
a uranium core or something like that.
Like, he pulls out the sticker and he's like 1, 2, 5, and then 3 star, and then he puts it in the printer.
Yeah, the new printer, the ink goes super fucking easy. Like, it's just little things like pull this off, stick it in, and bam.
I've been putting off buying a printer. Like, I have a business. I run a business, and I still don't have a printer. I'm like, I gotta do it, but I don't know what drug dealer printer company I want to deal with. Like, I used to work for these guys. I know a lot about those, but oh god, it's weird. Like, if you fixed shit before, like, and you've only seen problems, then you associate things with problems. Like if you have like, say you have an old shitty car and you fix it, or anyway, I don't know what I'm getting at. Fucking, let's talk about the Ocarina of Time.
Okay. No, we're talking about Majora's Mask because it just came out. I actually contemplated because they added when the 3DS first came out, they added the add-on second analog stick, which you can still use, but they just had the new version of the 3DS, which is pretty similar, but it's got a little analog stick up here already, so like it's got 2 analog sticks. I thought about it because like GameStop, I could trade in this for $100, so I would only need another $100 to get the Majora's Mask one. But I was like, I don't fucking need it. But I am contemplating getting the second stick because that's like $20 at GameStop. I'll just walk to GameStop and get that maybe because this game actually supports it, and so you can use the camera with the second stick. But I mean, I literally just started it like 5 minutes ago. I just got turned into a Deku Tree.
That's what it was so weird. Like we started the stream before we started streaming live. We broadcast live every week. Just Cool Enough is live 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Look for the Twitter link and the Facebook stuff if you want to watch live. Hello, live listeners. We have more than one, which is nice. Anyway, like Eric, like we got into the stream, and I'm looking at Ike, and Ike's like sitting there with his glowy headphones, and I hear this familiar sound. I'm like, oh, and I'm like half of my childhood like rushed into my head. Because it was like the Link dying sound or like falling.
I think it was. I fell down a chasm.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds so familiar, and it really brought me back. But it kind of ties in, like Ike was saying, to one of our emails we got.
Well, yeah, we got this email from. Let's see, I want to give out his real name if he gave us it. No, he didn't give us a fake one. From Alex. He says, "Get your retro gaming facts right." Hey guys, Shenandoah here. There we go, that's what I was looking for. I was listening to the last episode, and you said that the shitty Zelda games were on the 3DO. What are you guys, 20-year-old kids who don't know their gaming roots? The 3 shitty Zelda games were on the CDI, not the 3DO. Ignorant scums.
I take full responsibility.
The 3DO was. I know the 3DO was that bullshit like $400 arcade caliber games in your home bullshit. Because it's like, oh, play all the games from the arcade, but it costs $300, and the cartridges themselves are like $200, and the CDI was the shitty one. But who gives a fuck? They were all terrible. Like,
no, I should have known this. He's right. I guess I gotta commit. I've brought great shame amongst my family, and
you should commit seppuku now.
Seriously though, how many people really could even tell? Like, if you put a 3DO and a CDI in front of them, they're gonna look at that and be like, "That doesn't make a phone call." Like, what are you fucking showing me this for? What is this, like an old VCR? Did you guys have any of those crazy systems? Like there was a kid in school. I don't remember his name was, but
well, the CDI does look like a VCR player, and the 3DO looks like a game console. But I didn't have any of the weird
ones.
Like
a pretend game console that you got at your local furniture store.
It looks like those Chinese knockoff ones that they're like 800 games in one.
There was this one kid in school. His name was something or other, but we were going around the class, and he asked, if you could extinct one animal from the earth, what would it be? Eric, what's your answer?
I don't know.
One animal.
I can't. I like animals a lot, so I don't have any. There's not one that's like fuck that animal. So
dude, I know your answer. You just don't know your answer.
What's my answer then?
Your answer's pandas.
No, well, you're right. You're right. You're completely correct. Fuck pandas. I mean, they're going extinct anyways, but fuck those guys. They should be. They're killing themselves. They're going extinct not because of deforestation or because they're being hunted for the sport. They're going extinct because they're shitty animals that don't deserve to live. Like evolution they put themselves in such an evolutionary niche that they can't survive anymore. they spend too much time eating to fuck. That's how bad they're going extinct because they eat so much that they don't bother fucking anymore.
If pandas were like humans, it would be the guy that's too fat to have sex. It would be like his penis barely comes out and he can't come in a vagina anymore.
Well, no, it's like it's not even. It's not that they're too fat to have sex. It's like do you want to have sex? No, I feel like I'm just gonna grab a bite to eat and then and watch some Netflix. Like they're perfectly capable of having sex, but they just decided that they'd rather just sit at home and watch reruns of Friends on Netflix than have sex with anybody.
We need to get pandas like some libido or some like. We need to make a panda Valentine's Day. That always fires things up. Like what animal would you, if you had to kill one animal extinct from the earth like the dodo bird, what would it be?
I would find out what your favorite animal is.
My favorite animal's your mom, Ike.
Oh, she's gone. Sorry.
Oh God, that's disgusting. Stop that.
Oh, by the way, Shinoda. I mispronounced his name.
Yeah.
And he went on.
He's only emailed us like 7 million times.
I've only ever always gotten it wrong.
Eric, you need to focus on the show. You can't just play the game the whole time.
I'm multitasking.
Well, you just save the fucking game. You've played it a million times.
I can't save until I get past
you're interrupting the other half of this important email.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So the other half.
Wait, no, I didn't finish my story. Hold on.
I just found it. I found the masked salesman. So as soon as I talk to him, I can finally save.
Oh God, just get to that part. Like, read the email. I won't even tell.
Now I can't. Yes, I've just seen the cutscene where I talk to him.
On another note, random groups on Roll20 suck. Lots of mature people can't focus. Could you guys please discuss this and discuss your current D&D game? How are your characters doing? What happened last session? Is Joe annoyed yet? Do you guys have a paladin in your group? If so, is he annoying the whole lawful stupid thing?
Oh, God.
Love the show. Keep making them, and may the force be with you always. Well, except for Joe, no one force for him. No force for him.
I already have. I mean, like, I represent the dark side, so fuck you, Alex. I don't use his other name.
We don't have a paladin in our group.
Well, as I wanted to, like, I guess we could talk about our group, but I wanted to, like, I fucking lucked out when it came to my current D&D group because I don't even remember where I learned about Roll20, but I heard about it, so I looked it up, and then I was like, this seems interesting, I want to try this. Somebody mentioned it. I don't know if it was a podcast or another website or browsing Fortune. I don't fucking know where I heard about it, and then I just ran, like, I was like looking for a group, like I went to the looking for group section, and there was like there's always a bunch there that are like, we'll pick anyone. So I went and I went to one of those ones, and it was a big group at the time. It was like a ton of people in the group. It was like, I think there was like 20 or some by the time I joined, and then by the time after a while it was even more. But I just joined, and like I was like, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons before, and he's like, that's okay. He helped me build my first character, and I played with those guys for a couple of months in 4th edition. They showed me how to play. They were all pretty cool, and then eventually like a lot of the people left because there were like it was like multiple games going on at different nights, and I was in the Monday night group, and that kind of fell apart. And then the DM of that, who was my current DM, was like, hey, I'm going to start something new in 5th edition, and then we did that, and then I brought Ike along, and that's just like, I just was super lucky. Like I didn't have to go through another shitty group or anything, or like go through all this kind of stuff. I just was really lucky finding the group I found.
My first experience on Roll20 was I really had this really awesome DM, but the other people I was playing with, especially sort of like this guy and his girlfriend, they're such assholes. And like she fell asleep while playing a game, and it was just dragging on forever. So yeah. I went with Eric to the next game. Unfortunately, this one's a lot more like keeps moving.
Yeah, it's good. Currently in our game, we talk. It's like. We kind of fuck with our GM on accident a lot. Like, he set up this, we were supposed to fight these Duergar. Instead, we talked our way out of the fight, and then he had to come up with a whole new fight and stuff like that, and, normal stuff. But currently, we're traipsing around. We're level 7. Basically, all of us have decided that none of us are ever going to be able to really kill anything, and then our half-orc barbarian is the one, is just like a blender. So we just all, since we all are spellcasters in some capacity, we all just pick up spells to enhance his ability to kill things. And that's what we're just setting him up to and we send him in to do all the work for us.
What happens when your Is it GM or DM? Dungeon Master. What happens when your DM like separates him from you guys?
I don't know. Well, I can now teleport 500 feet in at will, so that's.
Stay with him.
The thing that worries me as a player is being a GM previously in 3.5, letting my PCs come across things I knew they would not be able to beat in order to encourage them not to just go ahead and attack everything all the time. But this party, because we have the guy who's kind of a blender, their first response is, let's just kill everything, and then we'll figure out how to deal with the situation later, even if we accidentally killed the people that we
never actually had a real like the only challenge was before I joined. Like it was like the second night, the second game. It was like the first big opener, like of the campaign that was split into two different nights. And the second night we fought a way through like this basement and fought this giant spiders and stuff like that. And that was the one like my bard got knocked over because I was like I'm gonna off tank. I was a level 1, and at level 1 you have no hit points and everything hits like one shots you in Dungeons and Dragons in 5th edition. So I fell down. But since then we've not have like he's occasionally set up these big like scenarios like it's gonna be big and epic, and then we do something like there was one where it was like this half ogre we've been fighting like set up this blockade, and it was like we're gonna fight him, and I was like, what if we take that cart, set it on fire, and push it down the hill? And we did that and like killed half of his forces and like and just like
that was before him. That I was there for that because I
you were there for that. Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, and he keeps doing, like, he keeps throwing, like, these big things at us, and we keep just decimating them in, like, 2 rounds of combat, and he's like, God damn it, you know. So like, the other night.
It has 120 hit points, and I do 33 hit points in one attack.
Yeah, and then our half orc, he does 3 attacks, so he'll do like 50 to 75 HP damage in like one go, and it's just like we just have never had really a challenge at this point. So like the other night on Monday, we were like oh, there's a bunch of kobolds and they're trying to summon a dragon, and I was like, fuck it, let's just go in. Like, who gives a shit? Like, we've never had a problem. So everyone was like talking, like, yeah, and while they're doing that, I teleport into the middle of the kobolds and start fighting.
But we don't have a paladin in our group, but I always have character ADD.
That's part of the question, just in case any of the other listeners forgot and tuned out. Like, that's part of the email. So.
We don't have a paladin in our group, but I have character ADD, and I've been seriously thinking about rolling a lawful good paladin.
God damn it, Ike! I don't even play with you, but I'm so sick of you switching characters.
Just like the other night while we're playing, like, we're gonna go kill these kobolds. I'm like, you might hit the cows that are there, even though they're probably already dead. But I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. They're like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, don't kill the cows. They didn't do anything.
Ike's a fucking blind necromancer with a severed hand, and he's like, oh, guys, maybe we should consider talking our way out of this. I was like, what the fuck? Why would your character ever do that? But yeah, I've actually, like, I love playing my bard, but I have been, like, the idea of playing, like, a dwarf ranger has been really interesting. Like, just a ranger just running around firing arrows seems like a fun idea, you know, changing things up. But yeah, so D&D's a fun game. I'm enjoying the crap out of it.
We did get a comment on our YouTube video where people are watching live right now, and it's actually from someone who's contacted us before. I guess I'll try and read this out, even though I get nervous and I stop reading. It's from Josh Eddy, and he says, question, have any of you guys ever... Oh, God, I'm already freaking out. Have any of you guys ever offered out of the goodness of your heart a delicious energy drink to 3 lame podcasters? He's saying this to us, guys. Only to have them systematically ignore your spurn offers.
Well, I think I said that I would like to do that, but then Joe was all like, or maybe it was Eric, was like, I'm all afraid of giving somebody else my email,
I'm not. You can send my stuff to me.
Fucking, you guys can give whoever the fuck you want some shit. Like I don't give a shit. If you want search from this guy, go for it. I don't really care that much about it. You know,
all right, fine. No, we've been ignoring this guy. Josh, send us another email.
No, it's right here. I have it open. I have his original one open.
Okay, he's probably already drinking that.
I'm gonna star it off.
I mean, like, if he drank the surge, I'm gonna be so mad at him. How dare you offer us surge and then you drink your surge? That was
dare
from
you?
10 episodes ago. I'm actually excited that he's this. It's like the guy in that movie where he's like, I want my $2. I don't know. Better Off Dead, I think it was.
Yeah, Better Off Dead.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll respond to your email with our addresses, and I'm going to respond right now. Sorry.
See, there we go.
Sorry, bro.
We also have another email, by the way.
Oh, good. We should read that.
It's I start off the surge one for you, Joe, in our email inbox. All right.
Cool, thanks.
So this is I Need Guests from Ethan. Ethan says, "Hey Joe, it's a two-parter. Hey Joe, Eric, and Ike. I'm in the process of starting a podcast and was wondering if any of you guys wanted to be guests of the inaugural episode. I've been a fan of JCE for a while now and want an excuse to fanboy the fuck out," which he essentially repeats, leaving the fanboy part out. So I don't know if he didn't mean to send it the first time, but he totally sent it both times.
He didn't mean to send it both times. He was
I
like,
think
"Oh,
they'll be scared if they think I want to if I want to fuck them, like a fanboy." And he's like, "I better not send that one." Oh, I already sent.
fanboy fucking is amazing. Anyway,
They should have an undo button on emails. Like you have like 5 minutes to get that email back before it actually sends it.
That's the fucking worst. Cause like on fucking like Facebook and shit, you can undo things, and you can always delete a tweet and then redo it, you know. But
And while we're talking, I just want to. This is actually what it's kind of like being in my part of the world right now. Let me just put this up here for all the people that are watching on the. Let me.
oh, this is a weather update from the East Coast.
Well, did you see it earlier, Joe? Did you see?
I saw a little bit here. We'll pop up your screen here.
I'll put it up there.
Oh, did I just
No,
mute
it's-
Eric? Oh no, Eric got smart. Eric muted himself and sneezed away from the mic.
no, I was coughing, so I could hold it back for a second. I was like, where's the mute button?
There was because I just hit Ike's window so we could look at Ike's pretty face instead of seeing the snowflakes that he's looking at.
But it says no overlay selected. I had it up there earlier, and I was being a jerk.
Whatever. We'll put it on the site or something. But it's pretty snowy where you're at, Ike. I hear.
Yeah, you know, and we're getting more tonight and some tomorrow, and we had some Monday, and
Let me tell you what temperature it will be tomorrow morning when I go to work.
I liked your thing, by the way, the other day, for the people that weren't paying attention to Joe's feed, where he said, I was going to go out and shovel, but it's minus 10 degrees. Fuck that. Stay inside.
I'm like, all I have is I have some mechanics gloves, I have motorcycle boots, and I have like a shitty jacket and some jeans. I don't even have fucking long johns. I'm like, I stepped outside, like opened up my garage. I'm like, all right, time to blow all the snow off of my driveway. And I was like, fuck no. My face is fucking freezing cold. I'm going inside, and I went right back to bed. I'm like, fuck this. Fuck this. It's supposed to be negative 20 tomorrow without the wind chill.
That's almost as bad as here. It's gonna be 68 tomorrow.
Negative
Yeah.
20 without wind chill. Oh, here's Ike's
There we
picture.
go. That's my picture from yesterday I took.
That's really cool. How the hell did you take that?
There's a lens that you can get for the iPhone called an Olo clip, and so this is the macro times 15 lens, so I could get really, really close to the snow.
That's cool. So snowflakes actually look like snowflakes.
Who'd have thought it?
Who would've
Snozzberries
thought-
taste like snozzberries.
Wonka, I want out.
So I know we talked about it last week, but I really need one more kind of final opinion now, because I've been looking around on Steam at the reviews of this game called Evolve, and people have been like, it's great, and people are like, it sucks, and then people are like, no, you suck, and you know they do this typical trolling thing. So
Who
trying to
said
sort
it sucked?
through all
No,
of it.
they suck. Fuck them, whoever they are. Yeah.
So what is your final take on the game? Is it worth the $60, or should I wait for a year and a half for it to go on sale?
I mean, depends. Like, if you have people to play with, it's even better. Like, I play with friends. I haven't been playing as much, but I'm gonna play a bunch tonight because both Kyle and Eric said, "Hey, let's play tonight." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's play tonight."
But
I
is it
enjoy
one of those things that you can also join random groups too, so you don't have to have friends?
It's all part of. I mean, random groups are great, especially if you can get people who talk to each other. I enjoy the crap out of it. Honestly, I don't know if it's the best game in the world, or if it's something that's gonna change your world or something. But it's pretty damn fun running around hunting a monster who you know is a player, or being the monster and trying to like hide from all the other players until you're strong enough to fucking just stomp them.
You know,
So it is a game of hide and go seek, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, kind of, but it like changes up because fighting the monster and like knocking people. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. The different characters, like because there are 4 classes, but then there's like 3 different characters within each class that are slightly different. Like there's like a basic medic who's got, can trank the monster so he runs slow and he's highlighted and he can heal everybody. And then there's the next one, which the Lazarus, who doesn't have as much healing but can raise people from the dead if they die, which is fun. So there's like trade-offs. Each one is a little different, and they're fun to play. So
I've been playing Don't Starve Together.
Oh.
Oh.
I was kind of looking forward to that, but I haven't gotten it yet.
I bought it was like a midweek sale on the thing, so I was like, fuck it, 2 copies for $10 each, I'll do it. And the reason I wanted to play that was because normally when I play like these survival games, I've been playing with my little brother Mikey, and he's the kind of person, because he's a kid, that he has a lot of time on his hands, so he's able to research like the best way to do things and how to start off the game, and and he's just like a naturally a gamer, right? And so I've been playing Don't Starve Together with Sarah and myself. Sarah's my lovely girlfriend of like 5.5 years. And just in case you didn't know, for all the new listeners, playing this game and not looking. I'm making a point not to look anything up online, not to go through any of the rule or any of the special sites to like what's the best way to start and where do I go for this and that. And it is so much fun just actually exploring a game and like living like I'm in the early 1990s, because like the only time you would get actual game information is when your Game Informer that you borrowed from your friend because you were too poor to get Game Informer, but you were able to find a copy, like the old one, at like the dentist office or whatever.
And Don't Starve it's pretty good at like showing you what you can make and can't. Like it's got a little menu, so it's not like Minecraft where you just have to fucking know or guess, And
that's what like it has a simple enough interface where you can get in and just and kind of dick around and like, oh, this is what leads to this, and it's just really well put together. If you haven't played Don't Starve, I could say it's a fun game. And I know, Eric, you did Eric's opinion on it, didn't you?
I think I did, yeah, because somebody bought it for me, and they were like, when are you going to do it? I was like, when it's not a fucking Google Chrome game. How the fuck do I capture that shit? But then eventually it was like, it was like, if you already have it, it's now Steam enabled. I'm like, okay, good, so I can fucking play it, because I played it when it was a Google Chrome game, and I was like, yeah, this is fun, but I don't know how to capture my fucking browser and capture it in a quality worth putting it on the internet for.
So but no, it's just so much fun playing with somebody who's not gonna, like, we just kind of been bumping through it and failing, and I think the longest we've lived was for like 10 days now, and then like some things came down from the sky and beat the fuck out of us. So like, oh man, it's a good time, some good stuff. So I would recommend it. Don't Starve Together though. Like I want to get like a survival group going, but like one of the kinds that are like a group of misfits that suck at the game, because that's when it's the most fun, when we have no idea what we're doing. So do you guys think like a lot of the magic goes away when you do the strategy guide thing?
I never did a strategy guide until I think I'm gonna go with Resident Evil, but I typically try to stay away from them if I can, because I prefer to, like you said, I prefer to take things, kind of explore them on my own and find out. But Resident Evil is particularly difficult. And even then, it was more like I'd rather search everything and then absolutely know that there's nothing I know what to do, and then look at the strategy guide rather than just try to use it as a walkthrough.
So,
yeah, I don't know. Like speaking of Majora's Mask, I remember when I had that game, I bought the Primus strategy guide so I could get all the masks. So that, because if you have all the masks by the time you go against Skull Kid, you get the awesome mask that makes you even more powerful. So it's like, obviously I'm going to do that. So that was part of my whole thing.
But doesn't that just take away from the game itself? Like, don't you want to explore and find those things? Like, I feel like you're slighting the developers if you're not, like, if the game is developed correctly and it has the right learning curve where you can kind of go through and progress and it gives you the opportunities and chances to learn.
I
Like-
agree in a lot of ways. Like a lot of games, it's about the exploration. But like Majora's Mask, especially, is like some games like this, like the Zelda games. There's always like little secrets that are hard to find that you have to either accidentally discover or know a guy that'll tell you how to get it. So there's that. Like I mean, in most games, strategy guides, I would rather not use them. But sometimes, like especially Majora's Mask, it's playing fucking Groundhog's Day. Like I don't know if you've ever played it, but it's the 3-day cycle, and like different people, like depending on what day it is and what time it is, people are in different spots. So it's like you gotta fucking know everything where everything is, otherwise.
And when things are gonna happen. But like you've played through the game before, and now you're going through it for in beast mode, right? Like you're gonna go through and pick up everything and do the whole thing now. So I understand that, but I mean for like a new game, like Kerbal Space Program, right? Like that game is built on learning and just kind of trying new things. And you can go and just be like, how do I build rocket to get to moon? And then you could follow a step-by-step YouTube video.
I think it's pronounced Mun.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're totally right. It's the Mun. So how do you get to the Mun? And no wonder I couldn't figure out how to get there. I kept saying moon. But no, like part of the fun in the game is your rocket's exploding, your experiment's not quite working out, and
but you can't. I mean, I think there is a discovery, but once you start. Like there's a few like simple things that are nice to know just off the bat, like hey, wait till point straight up till you get about 10,000 kilometers, and then turn it at only like this many degrees, and then wait till you get to this high, and then turn it this way, and that's the best way to get.
The learning curve. That's the fun part.
Yeah. And there's other ways to fuck. Like there's like the basically things that fly your planes for you. So you're like, get to the orbit, and then like press it, and it fucking does it for you. And that shit's always annoying to me. But yeah, like some of the fun is discovering it, but.
But like I think once you get to a certain point with Kerbal, like you're like, okay, I need to fucking figure out how to do this. Like because I think I played it for like a few hours and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm blowing up every time. Like I've made it into orbit, but I can't. Like, what do I do now? So like I went and I looked stuff up online. I'm like, oh man, I just like blew that load way too early. I should have been exploring and I always regret it. And unless I'm like running into a brick wall on something. I just really try not to go through that. But like something like World of Warcraft though, like an MMO, I'm like min-max guy. I'm like, I'm not gonna bumble through this. I don't want to be the fucking idiot in the party that's spec'd wrong and like wearing like paper cups and shit like that on my head. Like, why didn't you pick this up from this guy? It's gonna give you some like 400 more spell power. Oh wait, I could have had that the whole time. Like. Oops. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, an MMO, it totally switches. I'm like, no, this is fucking hardcore. I'm going to research everything.
Well, and even within that, there's, like, things like WoWhead. Like we're solved all these quests, but then they made World of Warcraft so easy that you don't even need that anymore. They're like, go here. Here's it on the map.
That was, but, I mean, like, if you were playing the game in, like, an RP sort of way, any MMO, it's fun to kind of like, all right, like you got to read through the quests and like, oh, that mountain range, okay, yeah, so that's what that's called. But now it's just, people don't have the patience for that kind of old style MMO, and now they just want to look at the mini map or press M and be like, this is the area, go here and kill the things, and turn this knob, and that's it. But I don't know. I think am I just like being the grumpy old man saying like I think we've lost something here?
No, I mean we've always had strategy guides and stuff, and some people buy them. Like I had the strategy guide for Majora's Mask, the strategy guide for Resident Evil Outbreak, the strategy guide for Morrowind. I think those are the only ones I can remember actively having.
I had a strategy guide. I think the Prima strategy guide for Gran Turismo 2. And after I played the game for a while, I got the strategy guide, and I thought that was like my Bible, because it taught me so much about the tracks and everything, and like how to take this turn the best way, and what car is good for this, and I mean, I did that too, but I feel like when those games are so expansive, like, could you imagine like buying a strategy guide for like Crash Bandicoot or something like that? Like, I couldn't. I think that's stupid.
I just thought it was funny. I was looking at I was on GameStop's website looking for like the controller nub add-on for the 3DS, and I was like, oh, there's only $20. That's cool. And then I saw the Primus strategy guide for Majora's Mask 3D, and I was like, no, what? There's GameFAQs. There's GameFAQ. Why do they still make this shit?
We did get an updated email from Josh, by the way. He's listening live and has been in our YouTube chat channel. Ike, did you want to read that? Because he already made fun of me on Twitter for pronouncing stuff wrong.
He had mentioned to us that he still had some to share. As an aside, he didn't mean to prod or be annoying. I was just listening to the show, and I figured I would give you guys a hard time. And don't worry, Eric, I will not force it on you. Just hit me up with your addresses, which we both did. Again, you don't have to. Just figure out an offer. But school's a bit crazy. But I'll try to get them out by the end of the week.
All right. Well, Ike and I are going to send you our addresses. All you have to do, if you want our addresses, listeners, all you have to do is promise to send stuff, and Ike and I will gladly give you our address. This is the time, like, we should probably, I'm thinking in my head, maybe we should set up a P.O. box. Maybe.
Yeah, the problem is we all live in three distinctly different parts of the country.
All right, so my P.O. box is 447A. You know, like, and then if you want to send something to Ike, send it here.
I'm 360 Sunset Avenue, Post Office 3,
Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 3047A. Like that. I want a P.O. box that rhymes. Like, wait, no. Originally when we started the show, we had a phone number.
Yeah, we still do, but because nobody's been using it, they're actually going to shut it down.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah, because we've been getting emails. It's like, hey, we noticed you haven't been using it, so we're probably just going to stop it unless you start using it again.
Wait, what? Do you know what our phone number is? Do you remember?
I think it was like 636-4866 JCE.
6 JCE. Boop, 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 boop.
You can find the email. Yeah, Google Voice. We've noticed you haven't used your Google Voice number in a while. Because phone numbers are a limited resource, it's our policy to reclaim unused phone numbers. It's made them available. So it's 636-486-6523.
523, JCE. It sounds like it's perfect. All right, do the jingle now, Eric.
No, but basically, they're gonna take our number because we don't use it unless we like.
I'm pretty sure I paid for that number.
No, it's free. Google Voice is free. Like the number
I use Google Voice and I paid $10 for the number.
Sucker.
You're an idiot then, because it should have been free. Because I use Google Voice for our home phone for reasons, and it's like it didn't cost me a goddamn thing.
Yeah, I think your first one's free if you don't care about what the number's going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah. Is that number active? Do we have like a recording on there?
We don't have, because we couldn't figure out how to do it, but people can call. People have called in the past.
Call now. What's the number again, Eric?
I don't know. I closed the window.
523.
No, 636-486-6523. I think.
We're like, they're calling some number. It's gonna be like their free psychic reading from Miss Cleo.
Only $1.99 every minute.
Press 1 for hot women that like to shove potatoes in their ears.
No, why would I press 1 for that? That's a very specific thing to go.
Press 2 for midgets who juggle other midgets.
Again, these are incredibly specific.
Oh God! I mean, this isn't ran in the States. This phone line I'm talking about, so they don't have to be politically correct.
These ads only run in Canada.
Yeah, they run it. It's phone sex hotline and offshore casino.
Yeah, and sports betting. Even though sports betting is now legal, because it's illegal, but fantasy draft teams like those DraftKings and shit, which is sports betting. There's absolutely no difference between that and sports betting is now legal, and now the NFL is like, yeah, we encourage it now. Like they like different, like NFL, the NBA, the NHL, they're all like teaming up with different sports betting leagues. They're calling them fantasy drafts, like week fantasy drafts, but it's sports betting.
There was an interesting thing I heard, speaking of sports and talking about video games earlier and linking the two, that there was a decline in most like high school and young people playing sports. There's been a big decline in it, and a lot of it was because people were saying, well, parents don't want their kids getting like concussions from playing football.
Yeah.
But a lot of the coaches are going out and saying it's not because people are worried about getting concussions. It's because young people are used to playing video games, and if they're losing, they can just hit the reset button until they start winning. So they don't want to take a chance and lose because that feels bad when they can just play video games and know they always win.
I don't think
Also,
that's it at all.
I think it's because sports are fucking like you remember playing like fucking soccer in middle school?
I love
shit's
that
annoying
stuff.
as like I played baseball and shit and soccer and flag
I just
football. That's because I didn't have a Nintendo yet. You know, 'cause
There's
it's
more
boring.
things to
We
do
didn't have cable.
inside. If you're part of the Western world or any part of the world now and nowadays, there's more things to do any part of the developed world.
Yeah, like
There's just more things to do inside.
I remember like a couple of times my friends would go like to to our schools like the yard, like whatever you call the playground. That's
The yard-
what it is,
the
like
yard
after
ground.
school.
The play
After school, and you'd play basketball or you'd play baseball in the field or something like that. But now we have like Facebook and Twitter, and now like me and my friends, we call each other on cursed voice and then play Evolve, which would be a lot more fucking fun than going to like Kyle's house and playing baseball. Like it's hot. I'd be all sweaty. Like, what if I skin my knee or something? Fuck that.
See, I'm in like the opposite part right now. Like, I brought a soccer ball into my office and I kick it around, and like I go to get like a drink of water and I like kick the ball all the way over to the water.
Look at fucking Pele over here.
Look at me, I'm Pele. No, but really, I'm like, I really have like this itch to go play soccer, and I think it's just because like you're basking in the sun over there with your 70-degree temperature and your awesome driving roads in the mountains. And
73.
Fuck you. And so like Ike and I are sitting here inside like going fucking nuts. Like I was excited. I ran.
For Eric, it is 73 degrees out. For you and I, it's between 7 and 3 degrees out.
I wish it was 7 degrees. I fucking wish it was 7 degrees.
My sister, she's in New York for school, and she's like,
God.
it is literally 7 degrees warmer where you are than it is here. It's 7 degrees where it's like 87 where you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm like,
I think it's worse for somebody who lives on the coast and then like is a transplant to the East Coast or moves to like Wisconsin or something.
yeah, no, my sister, like, my mom's like, she'll always call me, and I think like she's out of breath, like she went running. It's just that cold that she's like, hi, she's out of breath. It's so cold.
One of my lungs is frozen and stopped working.
No, I really do like the outside. I haven't had a fucking snowsuit since I was 6 years old. So like I need to like go to Goodwill and just pick up a cheap snowsuit that somebody pissed in.
And here's my problem: is I don't have swim trunks. So everyone's like, hey, let's go swimming. I was like, I don't have swim trunks. Last time I had swim trunks, I was 350 pounds. So they don't fit me anymore.
Dude, you should cut them in half and then you could have 2 swim trunks. That's
They were
what
cool too. They were board shorts. They were orange. I liked them, but
God.
they didn't fit me because I lost weight.
Now you should get a Speedo.
Hmm.
No, not your thing. Hey,
I'm wondering.
As long as I can still wear a shirt, I don't care what's on the bottom. I'll go bottomless as long as I'm wearing a shirt.
you're bottomless.
Yeah, I don't care.
Just
That's
a
what we
long
were
enough
talking.
shirt. It's like a
We were
nightgown.
talking about shooting a sketch, and my friend was like, "You're gonna have to show your ass in the sketch." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't have. As long as I don't have to take my shirt off, yeah, I'll show my ass in a sketch. I don't care. I'm keeping
I
my
let my
shirt
balls
on."
hang out. Just I don't want anybody to see my stomach or my chest.
Yeah, no.
Would you go full frontal?
No, well, full frontal with his shirt up to at least his waist.
Bottomless? What kind of sketch is this? If you want to be a big star, you take off your pants, kid. Not like this. Do I have to, please?
See, I think we look back at the Roman times, to get back on the sports thing really quick. We look back at the Roman times and we see gladiatorial things. We're like, wow, they were like, that was like the pinnacle of what they had for entertainment.
Sportsmanship.
And it was like...
Sportsmanship. They threw slaves at lions for entertainment. Like,
but, I mean, like 1,000 years from now, they're going to look back at these big, fancy stadiums and be like, look at what these barbaric people did. They had men running at each other with stuff.
not even 1,000 years. Like when you talk about like 20 years ago, the NFL, like it's like the teams in the 80s, like the 80s Chicago Bears, which were like the best team ever. Most of those guys either killed themselves or have such horrendous mental issues that they're like, yep, I have dementia. I'm 53 and I've got nearly full-blown dementia, and it's because of sports. And like I saw this thing. Brian Gumbel interviewed Mike Ditka, and he was like. Yeah. He was like, they asked him like, would you let your kids play sports and play football? He's like, no, I wouldn't. That's Mike fucking Ditka saying he wouldn't let his son play.
He's old now. His brain's basically a fucking raisin. Get out there, play sports, Johnny. Hit him hard and high, right in the head.
They would get concussions, and they'd be like, "What's your name?" Jesus. Back close enough. Get back out there.
Get out there, Jesus.
Yeah.
There was a woman on Radiolab recently. She was talking. 13 of her family members, like immediate, like cousins, father, grandfather, had been in the NFL. Like they'd gone all the way. She's like, so when my son was born and he came out 10 pounds and he had a third thumb, I knew this kid was going to be a football star. And she's like, by the time he was 4, I signed up for full contact sports. And then my cousin started showing signs of like all the concussions he had. And then my grandfather was showing all the signs of his concussions and getting dementia. But I'm still putting my kid in football and he's still going to run out there. And the kid's like, I don't really want to do that. And the mom's like, well, I'm not going to do anything.
That's the kicker. I listened to this Radiolab episode too. The kid wanted to be like a ballerina or something.
No, he wanted to be a synchronized swimmer.
Synchronized swimming, yeah. He was like, I want to do synchronized swimming. And he's like this soft-spoken, like big kid. He's like, I just want to do some synchronized swimming. The mom's like, Oh, no, you didn't say synchronized.
Well, you get in there and get so many concussions that you become a violent sociopath that beats your wife that you used to love.
Well, the kid was, because he's like, I don't want to play football anymore, because one time when I tackled this kid, I literally made him eat dirt. Like, I pushed him down and pushed his face in the dirt, and I realized that's not the kind of person I want to be. And Mom's like, no, you're going to play football and beat your wife.
Not all football players beat their wife.
No, but there is a correlation with numerous concussions can cause dramatic shifts. Like a lot of the NFL guys who everyone's like, oh, they were always the nicest guy, and then 5, 6 concussions, and a couple of years later, they're beating their wives and they kill themselves. And turns out they had massive brain hemorrhages all over their head that caused them to be incredibly violent all of a sudden.
So here's what I'm thinking: the way of the future is we'll have digital. We already have them, digital arenas, except we're gonna hook up to people's arms one of those injections like prisoners get when they die, when they put sentenced to death, and that will be it. So when you lose in the video game, you die in real life.
So like we're just going to play Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Sword Art Online. It already happened.
Yeah. This football game.
That's when fiction or nonfiction becomes reality.
The whole. Oh gosh, I'm totally fucking blanking on the book it was, but whatever. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Man, we've been getting emails the whole show. It's like we have listeners and stuff. It's weird.
And the people that are actually listening live, too.
Yeah, it's because I tweeted and Facebooked early enough. You guys should consider sharing to your audience, you idiots. We always wonder, hey, why doesn't anybody listen live? Maybe it's because the only person who posts this shit is me, and that's it.
Well, so we have this email from Brady. He gave us a picture, too, of 2 computer screens, and he's watching us apparently on his phone.
He's watching me on his phone.
Yeah, that's true. But I want to say that I'm sad. I'm sad with 2 larger screens. Shouldn't he be watching us on one of the large screens and running one of these other programs on his little one? But anyway, he says, hey, JC crew, the cannolis were awesome. I shared some with a few Chinese foreign exchange students here at university. I'm tutoring in English. They said most American food is too sweet, but really enjoyed the cannolis, because that's not American. I got a new job as a desktop technician at a local hospital. It's my first job and my first job that pays in the double digits per hour. Here's me not caring about my old job live. What do you guys consider to be your first real job?
Oh gosh, man.
Do you mean the one job I've had where I tore tickets in a movie theater until they asked me to clean up a bathroom that was literally covered in shit, and I said no and quit the next day?
Yep.
There's that. I mean, I auditioned to be a Universal Studios tour guide, but they didn't want me. So
What about like a stunt baby?
It's because you wouldn't take off your Boba Fett helmet while trying to give this tour.
No, it's because they wanted him to go shirtless, and he's like, "I'll do bottoms, but not shirtless."
I'll have my tiny little wiener flapping in the wind all day while I'm telling them about how they shot this is the clock tower from Back to the Future, but I am not taking my shirt off.
You listen to me. Like, what about you? What was your? So this is an interesting question. Congratulations, by the way, Brady, on your new job, and I hope you have wondrous opportunities in your chosen field. It looks like you're doing some Linux stuff on the thing you sent us, but the picture isn't high resolution enough for me to see the code. But like, what was your first job that you took really seriously?
My first job that I took really seriously was working at a summer camp.
Shaping the young minds and hearts of children.
Well, more like warping the young minds and hearts of children. I did that for 11 years at summer camp, so that informed my becoming a teacher.
My first real job was probably when I was like 9 or 10. I started a company called Joe's Snowblow and Grass Mow, and I eventually had a decent amount of the neighborhood kids working for me. And I ended up, because I got a complaint from one of my customers, I ended up having to fire my brother because he sucked at weed whacking, right? And he got like way too, like, I had a really good setup going. I would make the people buy the gas, and I would use their lawnmowers most of the time. And like on Monday, this lady would pick me up from school after school, and she would take me to her house, and I'd cut the grass, and then I'd have some lemonade cookies, go home. And then I would like cut like 2 more lawns and stuff. I was bringing in like a pretty ridiculous amount of money for somebody that was like just getting into 10 or 11 years old, right? And the kids in the neighborhood, they wanted to help because they wanted money. Like I was making money. I was able to go out and buy things and do stuff. And so I ended up contracting like 3 or 4 other kids to work for me. But my first employee was my brother Anthony, and he fucking sucked at lawn care. I'm like, dude, all you have to do is take the weed whacker and do it straight the whole time. It's fucking easy. And he was sitting there like, just like trimming hedges and fucking up. And so this was like a real like thing. Like a person came up to me with a legitimate complaint, and I'm like, he did fuck up. So I gave him his severance pay, and I fired him, and he went to my mom and told on me that I fired him from my business. I had fucking business cards, man. I was 11 years old.
What was the name of your company again?
Joe's Snowblow and Grass Mow.
See, I think it should have been like something like Joe Blows Snow and Mows.
You know what?
It has a ring to it.
I wasn't. Joe Snowblow and Grass Mow. On the card it said, "Don't let me break your back. Let me break mine." and like I had like 2 shitty clip art images. And it was like a guy pushing a mower and like a snowflake. And I passed out cards all through my neighborhood, and there was like I got a bunch of people that were interested because I would undercut the actual lawn people, right? Like I didn't have any fucking overhead. And
if that's the case, we're going with your snow blowing. Then my first serious job would have that I was self-employed, and I was selling rocks I found in my backyard, and I made $40 that day.
No, seriously, this was a serious job. I did it for a few seasons, and it was my but from then on, I took every job very seriously. Like they're like, Joe, one day.
Did it stop, Joe?
No, I can't stop.
No. Why did it stop? Why aren't you still doing it?
Yeah, right.
You seem like you're in a really good part of the world where you could continue doing this, making money, because nobody's going to want to go out in negative 10-degree weather. But if you get yourself one of those peed-in snow whatevers, you could totally go do it, and you could be rolling in dough right now.
It's not worth my time. I do more expensive things nowadays.
anything like that, but I remember I went around because they did. I don't know if your guys' school did this, but we did magazine subscription things, and like if you sold enough, you got prizes and stuff like that. And I wanted to get prizes. I remember specifically going like door to door, going way outside my comfort zone of people I knew, going door to door trying to sell magazines. And I don't know how the fuck I did that, because like. I couldn't do that. Like me, adult me, would be I'm terrified knocking on the doors of people I know, let alone complete fucking strangers. but like fucking I don't know, like 7th grade me is like going around because I want to get that fucking like stuffed animal that screams when you hit it and goes no. Yeah, and I did. I fucking got it. But I did a fuckload of houses. Like I went way outside of like across the busy street, across the Willegra, which was the biggie like 3-lane street, to the part of town like I wasn't like I didn't even consider it part of where I live, like our town.
You were in Viridian City, but you came from Pallet Town.
Yeah, something like I was like I was like, this isn't even like, I don't even really live there. I don't know anybody. I don't know these streets at all. I never come here, but I was like deep into that territory, like fucking just going for it, like knocking in doors, like trying to get subscriptions.
I've done actual real-life jobs like that to make money when I was in Indianapolis.
Isn't it, like I couldn't do that today. I don't fucking know how. Like that's the craziest. Like I used to be fucking confident. Like when I was a little kid, I'd like talk to girls and stuff and like hit on them. Like I don't know what the fuck happened to me from junior high to like now, but it like fucking something happened. I don't remember.
Did you play any sports, Eric? Like maybe you got hit in the head really hard.
No, I never got hit in the head.
That he remembers.
That you were, yeah.
No, I didn't, because I remember I played Little League for 3 years, and I was right fielder, and nobody can hit to fucking right field in Little League. And whenever I was at bat, I would always swing, even when it was a terrible idea to swing. I would swing anyways, and I'd usually hit the ball. Like it'd be like way above my head. I'd still fucking swing it and hit the ball because fucking I want to hit the ball.
That's great. You know, I don't know. I have so many like crazy job stories. I should really talk about them.
Somehow I'm not shocked at all, Joe, because I feel like you have lots of startups that never actually do anything. But I guess I give you a lot of credit for starting up all of these things. Something eventually, if you throw enough shit at the wall, something will stick.
Fail early and often. I'm not afraid to fail. That's one thing I've learned over my years. Don't be afraid to fail. And you know, there's a couple things to live by. The other one is don't ask for forgiveness. I don't even remember.
Don't ask for permission.
I never ask for permission.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, and I never really ask for forgiveness or permission. I just kind of do things, and then people are like, "That's great," or "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to be. And so, like, filming, I remember we were filming something once for a friend, and we needed this girl in a wedding dress to run by this newsstand and look at a magazine. And there was this newsstand on the corner, like, right next to where my friend lived. And he was like, "You think we should ask, like, if it's okay to film here?" I was like, "No, because if they say no, then we can't do it. But if we start filming and they don't say anything, it's fine. If they say, hey, what are you doing?" we can say sorry, and maybe we'll have gotten the shot we need by then.
Yeah, I mean, like, I generally don't like the, the postcard philosophy things. Like you know, like the squeaky wheel gets the oil, or keep on hanging on because trying hard's really good for your soul. But, like, that's one of those ones that stick in my head, like, ask for forgiveness, not permission. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because a lot of times it's just easier.
Yeah. I mean,
if you're fucking up, people will tell you you're fucking up.
You don't want to live by it, but there's like when it comes, like I use that for certain, like filming. Like if we're gonna film a sketch, getting a permit is fucking it's crazy, and it costs money and stuff. So it's easier just to film it and hope nobody notices by the time you're done.
I think you got to do that when you start out, though. It's like you're saying, it's so crazy. You got to do so much paperwork. I mean, you don't even know if you're gonna use that location, this and that. Yeah. Just go for it. But seriously, we are not any sort of like legal people, so don't trust us.
I don't trust you at all anyway.
I don't even trust myself.
I trust us so little that I think it's time we stop talking about this bullshit and start plugging each other.
Oh yeah!
My plug for this week, I don't know, I don't really have anything all that crazy or interesting to plug, so I guess I'll plug, I just saw this the other day and I thought it was great. There's a guy who does he does. If you ever watch the Potter Pals thing, the little cartoon or something, this guy. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, Neil Cisglea. I don't know how to pronounce his fucking name. He does music and he's just a funny guy. He did this video called Crocodile Chop, where it's System of a Down's Chop Suey. Like the lyrics and everything set to Crocodile Rock, and it's crazy. It's like, wow, that works really fucking well. So it's just really interesting. He also did like a couple of videos. He did these great videos about the races of Star Wars and the races of Star Trek that you should also look at if you enjoyed this thing. But he's kind of a weird dude, and he does some funny things. Like he does drawings and stuff. But yeah, he's fun. His sister is Emily Calvola, who does drawings and stuff. So I don't. But it's just really interesting.
Crocodile Chop. My plug for this week is Automation Game at automationgame.com. They're going to be actually doing a early access thing on Steam. These guys at Camshaft Software. I've been playing the game for like a year now or so, and they have a really awesome marketing strategy. By instead of like spending ads on like Facebook posts and things like that, they're like, how about we just like fly people that are influential to New Zealand, and then they film cool cars in New
Tell
Zealand.
them if they don't give us a good review, they'll never go home.
No, but go check them out. It's Camshaft Software. I paid the $35 when this game came out because it is an automation tycoon game. It's a car company tycoon game. What's not to like? You get to do all kinds of cool stuff. But it's going to be on Steam later this month. And if you want to be so cool and be like, hey, I had that game before it was even on Steam. I knew about it because this one guy's crazy on the internet and was talking about it.
I like that with Don't Starve. I had that shit when it was only on Chrome. When it was a browser
you could be as smug and as just weird looking as Eric. So go for it. AutomationGame.com. It's fucking awesome. Even though the game's not even complete yet, I've spent so much time just like building engines and putting cars together and like, oh, what if I do a cross-plane V8 with a really small turbocharger and a fucking old car thing, and it's great. So, Ike, what do you got?
I plugged it last week, but I'll plug it again because as of us recording this now at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night, EST, there is 24 hours left to go in the Exploding Kittens Kickstarter campaign. They have 190,000 backers and over $7.5 million raised so far. And they've managed to get both of the achievement goals. One was to create a box to put everything in, a really nice magnetic box. And the second achievement goal, which we got the other day, was that they won't tell us. They said there's going to be something awesome in the box that really made them laugh and totally enjoy it, but they won't tell anybody what it is, which makes me think they don't actually
severed head?
Probably.
Oh, God. God.
I got the regular version and the not safe for work version, and because our first stretch goal was they made Exploding Kittens Not Safe for Work deck into an actual standalone deck rather than a shuffle into the original deck. So you should totally check it out. We've got 24 hours left to go. Support this game. It looks awesome. If you like Russian roulette but don't like dying, this is the game for you.
Fine, I'll do it. God. You know what, though? I'm doing this in spite of Brady, who's always emailing and listening and buying my mom's cannolis. He says he doesn't like the oatmeal, and since one of the guys that created the oatmeal is helping with this game, I'm going to buy it just because.
Just to spite Brady?
Just to spite Brady and his awesome listenership.
You should totally go to the 30. There's a $20 version that you can get where it's just the Exploding Kittens deck, but I recommend going for the Not Safe for Work one too.
Yeah, I'm just going to get the Not Safe for Work one. Can I just get one deck?
Well, it's the $35 one gets you the Exploding Kittens deck plus the Not Safe for Work deck together, as opposed to paying $20 and only getting the regular deck.
I guess I got to watch the video again just to make sure.
It's totally worth it.
Unless it's better, it has to be better than Cards Against Humanity, and it seems like they're trying to do that. So.
And it's very quick. They said it's about 20-minute game max, and the learning curve is pretty quick, and you can jump in and out.
That's what I need. I need a good drinking game that people can go around. We can drink some fine stuff.
If you're looking for something, the best drinking game I can think of it's a game called Love Letters. You should really look into that because it costs $10 maybe, and it's super quick and it's super fun. It comes in a little pouch and you can take it to the bar with you or whatever. Love letters. It's really awesome.
Love letters. Okay, I'm gonna look that up too.
Well, I type in love letters, and then it brings me to everything that's like love letters.
Oh, it's just
It's like-
love letter game. It's just love letter.
Okay, there we
Yeah.
go. Better.
Yeah.
Steve,
It's really awesome.
guys,
It's super
just
quick.
one more thing though. If you are listening to it and you've made it this far into the show, I have to proposition you guys to review us on whatever you're listening to us on, whether that's Stitcher or iTunes or whatever. Just send us a review of what you think of the show, because we've been doing it for a while and it's always nice to get feedback, and it's nice to climb up the charts every once in a while too. So just share the show with your buddies and friends, and also give us a review. So. And if you want to email the show, you can always email the show at theshow@justcoolenough.com. Again, that email address is theshow@justcoolenough.com. And you too can participate and get your name read out on air. And also, if you have any good drinking games, maybe send us an email of what those drinking games are, so I can use them to impress my friends and look like a classy motherfucker.
You definitely will with Love Letter. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. You can always follow me on Twitter. I'm at Duncor, DUNCOR.
You could follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/SpeedyF40.
And you can follow me on Instagram at Ike_Dodge.
But until next week, have a wonderful weekend and fuck off.